Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I thought I'd give my feedback on the mini cut. The mini cut is technically over now. It's now Saturday evening. I've just come back from my parents' house from dinner. So tomorrow is technically the last day. Not going to get any leaner between now and tomorrow, so I thought I'd do this now. So I thought I'd give my feedback on my experience with the mini cut, Steve Hall's mini cut, the group experience, what I liked, what I didn't like so much, and originally what I wanted to get out of it. So why did I originally sign up? As most of you know, I am an online nutrition coach myself, so I know how to lose body fat, gain muscle. It's nothing new to me, but there's two things I was primarily after. One, what most people are after is the accountability, and a lot of time that's what you pay a coach for. You pay them for the accountability and to keep you on track, to pick you up when you fall, kind of thing, give you a kick up the backside when you need it. So that. And I wanted to learn from a coach that's more experienced than myself, because I want to improve. I knew there was something that I could learn, and I have learned quite a bit, which is really good. And I can now start applying that to my business, to my clients, which is really, really good. Okay, so 6 weeks. I'll talk about diet and training first. So I'll set a range of calories between 1800 and 1900, which for me is a little is on the aggressive side, which I probably would have set myself at about 2000, 2100, but it is a 6 week cut, so it has to be aggressive. So I thought I'd struggle with that a little bit. First 2 weeks, ironically, I was absolutely fine. Bear in mind, I cut from 3500 calories down to 1900, like that. And so I went from a bulk to a cut, and the reason is I've been bulking since November, and I started getting a bit too fluffy. My fat gains were starting to outpace my muscle gains, so it was time to have a little bit of a cut down. So I was okay first 2 weeks. After that, then psychologically it started kicking in. Even when I was hungry, even when I was full up, I was thinking about food all the time, because I was, previously, I had a lot more calorie freedom and didn't really have to focus on about hitting macronutrients and calories. So that was quite aggressive. Training, a little bit different to what I'm used to. Bear in mind, again, I've been bulking, so I've been doing a different style of training. So it started off, week 1 was really easy, just like sort of breaking you in. Week 2, it steps up. Week 3 and 4 were brutal, really, really tough. So I haven't done so many sets and so many reps combined in a long time, and I was struggling. There was a couple of times I had to walk out of the gym because I was feeling really fatigued. We're only talking like once or twice here out of 6 weeks. That's not too bad. And I had a few twinges, sort of shoulders, legs, that kind of thing. So it just sort of held back. So I did largely enjoy the training, but there were days it was a bit of a struggle, especially in that kind of energy deficit. So yeah, one thing that Steve was sort of not plugging, but going on about was NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So basically means any kind of activity that you do other than exercise to help increase your energy expenditure. Now, as a coach, I know the science behind NEAT and I know what it can do, but I was always kind of like, I kind of have my own biases towards, it can't help that much kind of thing, and it's only walking, it can't really burn off that much energy. Anyway, so I thought I'll try something different this cut. I've cut many times before, and I started to go for walks every day. So I'd walk between my house to the train station. I would stand up on the train. I'd get off a couple of stops early before work, and I'd walk to work the rest of the way. I'd go for a walk in my lunch break, and I'd do the same process on the way home. I'd walk to the station and get off and walk home. So I was clocking up anywhere between sort of 14 to 16,000 steps a day. And after a week and a half, I really started noticing a difference. And my weight loss sort of went up a little bit by, rather than doing £1 a week, it was going up to about £1.5, £2 a week, which is really, really good. So that's why I've sort of had to unlearn my bias towards that. And so I appreciate Steve's work there, that he's drummed something into me that I'm now going to do every time I go in for a cut, or even time when I'm bulking. Really, it's just a matter for a bit of weight management, is do a lot more walking. Not only that, I find it really, really relaxing. It's something that I love doing now, is just going off on my own, having a walk, clearing my thoughts and thinking about what I'm going to do for the day, what I'm going to do for my business, you know, personally, that kind of thing. Thinking about friendships, relationships, that kind of thing. So yeah, it really clears my head. It's really centered me in a lot of ways and gave me a lot of focus. So, and that's something I've literally started rolling that to all of my clients that are doing weight loss, or fat loss, should we say, that I'm now telling them to increase their needs. So yeah, so that was really, really useful. So learned a lot. The group aspect was absolutely fantastic. It was really, really good to be in a private Facebook group where no one else could see it. You're bouncing ideas off each other, you're bouncing problems off each other, giving each other support, picking each other up, having a giggle where we could have a giggle, sharing recipes, trading war stories on training, that kind of thing. So that's really, really good. And actually, I think I may be stealing that idea and adapting it for a few of my projects that are coming up and a few of my fat loss things that I want to do. So it's really, really good idea. So what I may do, like I said, I wanted to learn from a coach that's more experienced than myself, and it as a tool, it's really, really effective. So I think I may sort of like look at that format, adapt it, tweak it, you know, see to the way I want to do things. So that was really, really good. So things that I didn't like so much, I can't really pick that much fault really. I did really enjoy the process. I'd say fatigue was really, really high. But again, it is one thing I would say to anybody that's signing up in the future for this, when Steve does another mini cut, be prepared that yes, it is an aggressive process, and saying that, Steve doesn't make any bones about that. It is quite an aggressive process, so be wary to what you're signing up for. You are going to have bad days in the 6 weeks process. But that's probably about all I can pick holes in it really. It's just that I was really fatigued, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just more of a learning curve, so it's not really, I'm nitpicking this, to be honest. But what you do get, you get a good sense of community, a good support, a good coach knows what he's doing. Programming was really good. You get an education really. You get an education on fat loss, learn how to be flexible with your food, flexible with your lifestyle. So it's a really, really good process. And I got, even though, how can I put it, when it comes down to basic fat loss, I didn't learn anything new, as in, you know, done my studies and everything on fat loss. It wasn't about that for me. It was about challenging myself. There was a little bit of competitiveness in the group, which is great because it spurs everybody on. And, you know, I never thought I could lose 11 pounds in 6 weeks. Like I said, it is aggressive. It wasn't a race who could lose them most amount of weight in what time. But yeah, if you focus, you can achieve great things in 6 weeks. Not a 6-pack in 6 weeks. It wasn't about that. It was just a mini cut to, okay, this is what we're going from A to B. This is what we can do in the time. And then, you know, we're going to taper down after that. So for me personally, I'm still going to be cutting after this because I want to lose about another 8 to 10 pounds personally for myself. So yeah, so it's got me halfway, and I'll definitely be keeping the walking in. And yeah, I dare say I've made some new friends on the group, and it's been really, really good. So I'll definitely recommend Steve as a coach. He's really, really good to work with, a lot of fun to work with, and yeah, I can't really got no bones about it really. So that's it, guys. So that is the end of the 6-week mini cut. It's been fantastic. It's been a good experience, and I hope this has been good feedback. And if anybody else watches this and wants to sign up in the future, I'd definitely recommend Steve as a coach. And for the money, you get so much. I think he's actually undercharging, to be honest. I think he's been a bit too generous. I think he could probably charge double what he is. But again, one thing coaches do, and I know from my personal experience, yes, we have to pay the bills, we have to run a business, but ultimately our first goal is to help people, and I think that's what Steve's doing. He's educating people, which is really, really good, and I hugely respect him for that. And yeah, so Steve, thank you so much. Hopefully one day, mate, we can meet up and have a Nando's or something, or go and grab a drink. I know you, I mean, I work in London and you live in London, so yeah, let's make it happen one day. And yeah, be good to meet a few other people in the group. One day we can make it happen. So that's me done, guys, and thank you for tuning in.